God knows of the theater and everything else. And I remember as a boy going to the La Scala with her in Italy and watching all the operas and everything else. It was just wonderful. It was a great childhood, and then we came into depression, 1929. And if you've never been through a depression, which we're going through right now, believe it or not, in a very easy way. But in those days, we used to call victory gardens and everything else because we grew our own vegetables, we grew everything. And we did everything, and we had a lot of fun doing it, believe it or not, in those old days. Whereas everybody today, you know, the only thing that they know is get on the internet or get in front of a television set. That's it. That's what you live for. It's the greatest thing in the world. I don't find kids out there hustling around out there in the woods anymore. Hey, I'm not taking on that. Hey. We used to go out there as Boy Scouts and make campfires and, you know, and I'll never forget, I was the assistant scoutmaster in a troop out there in Hampton, Connecticut. And I said, fellas, I said, we've got to have, they're all Italian boys, and we've got to have more recruits in our, so they went out and got a bunch of Italian Americans, you know. And I said, okay, we're going to go on a 14-mile hike and everything else. So we went on a hike and started fires and everything else. And these kids are pulling out this polite, you know, to eat the sandwiches and everything else. And these American boys have got canned beans. And they said, well, what do we do with the canned beans? And the kid said, put them in the fire, put them in the fire. Little did they know that it'd explode. The Italians got their revenge. Go ahead.
So, thank you. How did you go from serving in the Navy to a career in acting? How did that happen?
I wrote a book called Ernest. It's not really the title that I wanted. The title that I wanted was taken from I was walking along 10th Avenue one day, and I'm saying to myself as a broken down actor, I said, why? Why did I ever get into this business? Because I'll tell you how I got into the business. After World War II, I got out of the service, and then I went home, and after a couple of weeks, my mother said, well, you know, one of those kind of wells that said, you're going to hang around all the time, or what are you going to do? So I started looking for work, and I noticed all these fellas walking into these factories. And I said to myself, do I want to, after 10 years in the Navy, and I'm out there in the open, you know, and everything is just beautiful, you know what I mean? I'm the destroyer and bam. And I said, I can't lock myself up in prison like that. That's worse than going to jail. So I take my lunch and I go to a park, I go to see a movie or something like that, and come on home and find anything? No, not yet. And one day I went home and I said, that's it, I'm going back into the service. And out of a clear blue sky, my mother said to me, have you ever thought of becoming an actor? So you always like to make a damn fool of yourself in front of people? Why don't you give it a try? And I said, looked up and I said, Mom, that's what I'm going to be. Now, the only reason I think she ever said that was because of the fact that she wanted to be an actress, but because of being a royal blood and everything else, they just frowned upon by anybody that, you know, belongs to royal blood to be on the stage. And so she took it out on me. And 10 years later, what the hell was her name? The gal that married that beautiful lady. She married the Prince Premier. Grace Kelly. 10 years later, Grace Kelly is handing me an Oscar. Don't ask me how.
And that was in 1955. You won the Academy Award Best Actor. You beat out Frank Sinatra, Spencer Tracy, some pretty heavy hitters. Tell us about that night. How did it feel?
I was out there in one of the choice seats, I suppose, because they, I was supposed to be up there for the Academy. And I'm looking over there and I see Jimmy Cagney and I see Burt Lancaster and a whole bunch of people, Gary Cooper, Clark Gable was there, and I took a picture with him. And oh God, it was just wonderful. And suddenly my wife was going, she called her name. She called her name. You won. I couldn't believe it. I didn't have any. I had no idea I was going to win because of the fact that it was just a little tiny picture, 90 minutes long, and here I'm up against guys like Spencer Tracy and Frank Sinatra and Jimmy Cagney and James Dean, who had just passed away. I figured he's going to win because of, Dave. But I won, and that was all there was to it. And I got up there and I said, thank you very much, thanks Mom and Pop, and I walked off. The happiest guy in the world, of course. And I still have my Oscar right up above my television set. And every year when they have the Oscars, if I don't vote myself, I just put the Oscar down there and said, I got mine, go ahead. That's what life is all about, isn't it? Absolutely.
And then, of course, in the 60s, you went on to be McHale's Navy. But I saw an interview where you mentioned that you weren't so sure about it at first. At first, you turned the show down. Is that correct?
That's correct. For the simple reason that, I was in the motion pictures, and I was a big motion picture actor now, And my agent called me up and he said, listen, we got a thing called McHale's Navy. And he told me, explained about the PT boats and how I love the water and everything else. And I said, well, I tell you, it sounds fine, but I said, hell, I'm a motion picture actor now, and I'm going to stick with motion pictures. Oh, so well, if you change your mind, call us right away because we'd like to get started. Yes, sir. So the next morning, as the good Lord would have it, came a knock on the door. There's a kid selling chocolate bars. And he said, would you like to buy some? I said, sure, how much are they? And I'm reaching for the money. And he looked up at me and he said, mister, he said, you look awfully familiar, what's your name? I said, my name is James Ernest. He said, no, he does Gunsmoke. I said, no, I'm only kidding. I said, my name is really Richard Boone. He said, no, he does have Gun Will Travel. I said, this guy knows them all. I'll tell him my name and he'll know. Sure enough, I said, my name is Ernest Borgnine. Zilch. Nothing. He said, I know I've seen your thing. Thank you very much, son. Paid him, took the chocolate bar, set it down. So long, kid. And I closed the door and called up my agent. I said, that part's still open? And he said, yes. What changed your mind? I said, none of your goddamn business. But the story goes on. The Navy wouldn't have anything to do with this. They said, no, this is not the Navy. My God, you're insulting the Navy. You're this, you're that. And, hey, so we went on our merry way. What the hell we care? We did that, and everybody was saying, hey, boy, this is a great show. We love it, and oh, this is great. One day, I get a call to go to the Pentagon to meet the Secretary of the Navy. Oh, I went, and I'm sitting down there in his private quarters in the Pentagon, and these guys live it up, boy. Believe me, we pay good taxes. Wow. Anyway, we sit down, and these guys are serving us and everything else. And finally, I said, Mr. Secretary, I said, this is all wonderful. I said, I thank you very much, but why? Well, what's the big occasion? He says, you're the greatest recruiter we've ever had in the Navy. I was pulling in people, everybody wanted to join McHale's Navy. And I actually found a few guys that actually were officers in the service that actually joined because of McHale's Navy. So you can see, we made an impression after all. Go ahead.